Okay, today we're going to talk about 1x19 strand. Now it's different from a wire rope in as far as wire ropes are made up from strands. Now in small diameters they're quite flexible, these strands, but they're not really any good for working ropes, as in running around pulleys. They just won't last in that application. What strands are good for is low stretch characteristics and tensioning. Now you can see in the construction, there's one central wire surrounded by 6 wires going that direction, and then there's 12 wires on the outside. Now they usually run right hand the 12 outer wires. You can see maybe in this bigger cable that the wires helix up to the right. So that's how that strand's made up. Now if you spun 7 of these up into a wire rope, you would end up with a 7x19 cable. So this is literally a strand out of a 7x19 wire rope. So just looking at some of the sizes, we've got a 1.5mm strand here. You can see it's actually got quite a good degree of flexibility. And yeah, typical application for this would be like a brake cable or a clutch cable in a car or a motorcycle. And I'll just put my glasses on for this one. This is a 4mm 1x19 strand. Now you can start seeing the flexibility is not as good now. But this type of thing would be used on yacht rigging and balustrade cables, balustrade infill, that type of application. Very smooth out of profile, so it's good for that type of thing. You know, it doesn't pick up fluff or hair from animals and things like that. It's actually a very nice closed construction. And this one's an 8mm. Now you start seeing this is really getting rigid. Now obviously over distance, over length, this cable still has some sort of degree of flexibility, and good applications for this would be like a mast stay or a stay wire for things like fabric structures. It's starting to get to that type of size. Now generally these strands are available in 316 or 304 stains. We generally stock them in 316, which is marine grade stainless. Now the smallest diameter we do is 1mm, and the biggest diameter we do is 19mm. So that's quite a serious cable. Once you get to 19mm, you'd obviously have to get factory type ends fitted on it. Now we do DIY ends for these sort of size cables, and they're normally, for this type, would be a ferrule secured end. You could still crimp an eye into that, so you could form little loops like that with it. With this one here, you would probably need to go for things like swageless terminals or swage terminals, which are a tubular fittings which fit on and then are hydraulically crimped on. And for this type, you'd really need to start considering getting factory fitted ends if we were going to swage them, but you could still fit swageless ends onto them. Okay, so if you're going to order these products from Techni, we would supply them in an unbroken length in meters. So if you ordered 10, you would get 10 meters. If you need them cut to length, we have auto cutting capability. We can also supply them with electro-fused ends. So thanks a lot for your time today. And if you need any of the products, www.techni.uk.